Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. And for the last two videos, I've been posting the series that I've been working on, the Into the Night series. So I have episode 1 and episode 2 out. And instead of publishing episode 3 today, I thought that I'd go back to my video letters for at least today, for Monday. And I'm thinking of releasing episode 3 on maybe Thursday or next Monday. But I definitely don't want to lose the format of video letters. That is what majority of the videos are on my channel. And of course, I would love some direction if you want more of the video letters or you want more of the webtoon series. So just let me know so I kind of get a bit of an idea of what to do. But that being said, today is a video letter. And as the title suggests, it's essentially about thinking too much, overthinking, and also just how it seems like you're just never enough in the world. But yeah, let's just get into the little kind of poem that I wrote for it. Think too much about the pains of others and you surround yourself in negativity. Think too much about the pains of your life and all of a sudden you are ungrateful. Think too much about the positives of the world and you're overly and toxically positive or optimistic. Think too much about the positives of your own life and all of a sudden you're out of touch. Maybe the problem is just thinking too much. But then again, if you free yourself from the shackles of thinking, you're ignorant. And the world will make it so that you're not blissful. Because if they're not blissful, then how can you be? Anyhow, so that was just a little tiny piece that I wrote. Now let's kind of go over it. So think too much about the pains of others and you surround yourself in negativity. This just kind of is self-explanatory. Like if you think too much about the world and everything that's going wrong in the world, because there's quite a bit, with like the wars and just people suffering, which it's been going on for I think as long as the world has existed. But if you think too much about everybody else's pains and everybody else's sorrows and everything that's been going wrong, you're surrounding yourself in negativity. All of a sudden everything just feels black, like there's no room for any light or any positivity. It's just all negative. Everything is wrong, everything is bad, nothing good is happening. And then the next line, think too much about the pains of your life and all of a sudden you are ungrateful. Now if you're not worrying so much about the pains of other people or the world in general, and you're just you're so occupied with all the pains that you have in your own life, all the sorrows and all the negative things that's happening in your own life, then some people might label it as, oh, you're just ungrateful for the things that you have. Like, you need to stop thinking so much about your pains. You need to start thinking about all the things that you should be grateful for. So if you are focusing on your own pains, then all of a sudden now you get the label of, well, you're being ungrateful. The next line, think too much about the positives of the world and you're overly and toxically optimistic. So this one is, if instead of being negative, if you're instead of focusing on the negatives of the world, you're focusing on the positives of the world, like how things are going good, or how, there are some great humans out there, and you're just trying to focus on the positive of the world, what's going right in the world instead of what's going wrong, then you're labeled as overly or toxically optimistic. Like you're just being unnecessarily optimistic, kind of like that character Joy from Inside Out. Like you're just focusing only on the positive, and even that people won't like. Next line, think too much about the positives of your life and all of a sudden you're out of touch. So this one is, again, if maybe you don't think about the positives of other people's lives or the world, and you're just thinking about things that are going right in your own life, the positives in your own life, then all of a sudden you get the label of, well, you're out of touch. You're just thinking about yourself too much, right? Then the next line, maybe the problem is just thinking too much. But then again, if you free yourself from the shackles of thinking, then you're ignorant. So if we just say that, I don't want to surround myself with the negative things that's happening in the world. I don't even want to think about the positive things. I just don't want to think too much at all. Then it's like, well, how can you? Like, how could you do that? How dare you not think about the world? Like, there's so many negative things. You should be thinking about the world. You're just trying to live in a fantasy world where you don't have to worry about that stuff. And so if you're trying to stay away from all those things and you're trying to, say, let me just not think about such things, let me not think about the positive or the negative, then it's like, okay, well, then you're being ignorant. You need to know about these things. You should know about these things. Even if it makes you uncomfortable, even then you should still know about these things. These are things that I've heard from other people as well. Like they truly do believe that you should absolutely, even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if you're surrounded with negativity, you're feeling low still, even if it makes you uncomfortable, you should absolutely know what's happening in the world, and surround yourself with that. I have heard that from other people before. They haven't said it to me though, just I've seen it in general online. And then the last line, and the world will make it so that you're not blissful, because if they're not blissful, then how can you be? And this explains the behavior of quite a few people. Obviously not everyone. Usually the people who don't disagree, or the people who disagree with you and have learned that calmness is better, they won't say anything. They'll just go on about their day, right? A lot of people, like, even if when they're watching a YouTube video, they'd rather just either click out of the video or just not say anything. But there are some people who are very vocal, and so those people, usually the ones who are hurting themselves, like internally they're just hurting, they're in pain or whatnot, they will make it that if they're not blissful, then how can you be? If I'm not happy, then why are you? Again, that's not everyone. It's not to put everybody in a one bubble. Obviously, the earth is full of many different type of people, so you're gonna face a lot of different types of people. But that is definitely one category of people that definitely do exist, where if they're not blissful, then they will get honestly mad at other people who are blissful. But anyhow, that's all for today's video, letter. Let me know what you want Thursday's video to be, whether you want it to be a video letter or the third episode, or something else. You let me know. So stay happy, healthy, and safe. I hope to see you subscribe, because I'd love for you to come back. I post on Mondays and Thursdays every week. So again, I wish you well in your life's journey.